podcasts on WildGamesProductions.com and DetroitRadio.com. They came from the game table, dice bags in hand.
We have one brain that we share between us.
To talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then 1E they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
Even a modern day film is like, that's a cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cowboy all the way, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And does one-arm push-ups real good. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer. And it is number, Brian?
That is number 65, I believe.
65?
Yep. We can start collecting Social Security now.
I forgot to say last show.
Our show is old.
I forgot to say.
And only getting older.
Yeah, last show.
Oh, my back.
Yeah, last show when I'm 64. Now we're 65.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm coming, Elizabeth. But
it's the big one, honey.
It's the big one. I'll be there. So I'm DM Glenn. We got DM Brian yakking away here.
Yeah. Hey, folks, what's going on?
And DM Full-On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. We're yakking, and we're...
And DM Corey is once again out, sick. Hope he gets better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got it. He galumphed it up to join us for session 6 or session 7 of Hammers of the Duchy, which will be out soon. Session 6 as we speak. It's uploaded and I'm doing the information, so
okay.
That's good to go. But yeah, he's not feeling so good, so we decided to let him rest.
Well, we shall go forward into Hits and Grits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque, Louie's Paradise, miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and Crits.
Hits and Crits while I chomp on some pizza here. What you been doing, Brian?
Mute your mic. Just mute your mic while doing it. Let's see. Well, we did session 7 last Monday, and we had a pretty good time. But I've listened to all of our AP sessions, and session 6 is the best one. Is the funniest. I haven't laughed so much at a gaming table in years. So that's up and ready for you, and we'll be doing a couple of more episodes of THACO's Hammer than we do session 8 of Hammers of the Duchy, and we just keep on rolling like that.
Folks, he used to laugh at the Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet too, so, okay.
Are you, hey, only when they open that closet.
That's Fibber McGee.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, I'm getting my radio.
And that's radio and TV, yeah, I can tell. What's up, Full-On?
I am so glad I could contribute to your amusement, since I could not roll above a single digit the entire game.
Yeah,
that is true.
The dice gods were not kind to Full-On. It's true.
No. And what you been doing, Full-On?
Working late, working long.
Yeah.
But there are many safer motorcycles. There are many safer motorcyclists out there among you now. So please watch out for motorcyclists.
Oh, cool. You got a motor pool.
That's your PSA. Yep. Now we roll some dice.
Or we will run over your ass. No. We wouldn't do that. So you've been working. How about Tor? Have you been doing Tor?
I have not even been able to log in and check on my GTN.
Wow. Yeah, you have been busy.
Busy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Me, a few things. I got a couple of goodies in half price today. Excuse me, the Rolaids box set, Demons and Sentinels, for a $1 a piece, $10 a piece.
Yep.
And they had everything in it, and they look gorgeous. I mean,
awesome.
Hardly any kind of wear and tear on the box. Even got the map in Demons of the area of hell. Mm-hmm. It looks really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else? What?
What's been doing with your D&D game?
We've laid off last week. We're going to lay off next week. See, we had a run of we did 2-3 weeks in a row because of scheduling with my DM's kids like softball game and stuff.
Right.
So we laid off last Saturday. We're going to lay off this Saturday. Then we're going to go kick some more giant butt. And then the following Saturday, I'm going to go audition and not kick giant butt. We've been kicking so much giant butt. We have to wash our feet all the time. Anyway.
Ooh. Yikes.
You gave him what?
You did what?
Yeah. I've also found, I'm going to plug them on here. I also found this group on Google Plus Hangouts called Giant Dragons Gamer Chat. It's this one guy, Jonathan, who I guess is bored or something. So he does this Wednesday through Saturday. And sometimes Sunday, like last night he was there and all of a sudden, what are you doing on? He says, well, I was drinking and I got bored. I wanted to do this. But it's basically like a 2-hour BS session about gaming. And we get 4 or 5 people in there. It's a lot of fun. You gotta try it. Google Plus Hangouts, Giant Dragon Gamer Chat. I don't know how that works because he always invited me. I don't know where the hell he got me from, but I was there, and I did. Glenn, what?
You're internet famous. That's why.
Yeah, right. One guy knew me from Save or Die. Okay,
hey, all it takes is one.
That's true, and I made him happy because I found a box set of Dragon Quest at half price, and I got it for him. I sent it to him. So he is a happy camper. You like that, Jonathan? Thank you.
I think you should be happy with that plug, yes. Oh,
yeah. But, Giant Dragon Gamers Chat, if you can find it out there. It's a lot of fun. I just went on that night just to test my system. I've got this nice new computer, and I didn't know if, it would work with Google Plus Hangouts, and it's like a champ. Like a boss.
I would say it would.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. I would say it would. Absolutely.
All right. And let us move deftly into emails. What do we have?
Okay, let's see what we've got. We will start with the most recent, or not the most recent. We'll start with the latest one.
Read on.
Okay, this is from Keith Haddad.
Okay.
I think we know him.
Keith.
Huh?
I said, well met, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Hail and well met. Okay. He says, just listen to episode 62. I've played basic D&D to 2nd edition. Played a bit of 4E and never liked it. I played a bit of Pathfinder and found it too complicated. So I was about to go back to my old 2E and even back to basic when I found Castles and Crusades. He says, played with just the player's book and it was great. The Castle Keeper's Guide is kind of a mess after the first few chapters, sort of a review he's doing. But since I played with just the player's handbook, I had a great time and I used just any other book as reading and idea gathering material. Then when I realized that Gary Gygax worked on the books too, I thought this is great. CNC is a great supplement to my D&D collection. Will recommend it to everyone.
Good.
Let's see. It's old school with one rule, the siege engine to help DMs adjudicate when playing any edition. Listening to DM Glen is funny. There you go. While he pats you on the back with one hand, he kicks you in the ass as well. He says, I hope I never get as crusty as he is.
Yeah,
oh, my God.
He's going to feel one of my size 14s pretty soon if he keeps it up.
Going to turn that sumbit sideways.
And shove it up your...
Yeah, right up.
Do not fear, Keith. There are old gamers. There are bold gamers. Join us, and you can be old, bold gamers.
Absolutely.
Oh, I got to shine it up first. That's right. Anyway, go ahead.
Let's see. He says, he said that his take on ascending AC versus descending is funny. He says ascending is so much easier for most people. I disagree. But then again, I've been playing for 30 years, so I'm used to it.
Yeah. To me, it's a case of old dog, new tricks, Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, it's just flipping the script. That's all it is. It's nothing new about it. I'm used to playing descending armor class because that's the way I've been playing since I was 11 years old.
Right.
So
just math, people. They say us gamer folks is smart. Why don't you show them you got some learning on? Dang it.
Let's see.
Well, then you play Tunnels and Trolls. But never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. When complaining about DC checks with versus plus minus to picking locks, it's the same thing. Just instead of using a percentage roll, you're using a D20. Yeah, it's true, but I'd rather use percentile dice because there's just a lot bigger room for not only success but room for failure.
Mr. McLaughlin would say, "You're wrong."
The only reason I don't like 4th edition is that the PCs act like superheroes with healing surges. Yeah, that's one of my major complaints.
Yep.
Too many skills to manage that force the players to look at their character sheets to see what they can do versus just saying they want to do something. That's been my complaint since the advent of 3rd edition, when players learned how to game the system.
Yeah.
And then he says, my Pathfinder character sheets are 4 to 6 pages long. My Council of one.
What?
Finder, 3E, whatever, a piece of paper, 2 sides, just like everyone else.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
You don't have to play with all the toys.
He says, I do like the crunch of rolling, so that's why I love CNC. The players can confidently say that based on the 6 basic stats, they know they will rock when using 2 or 3 of them, and then the other 3 or 4 will be just average, well, if they're lucky. Everything rolling-wise is based on that premise, but as a DM, I like adjudicating when a roll is necessary and not a list of skills. Well, yeah, that's one of the reasons why I stick with 3rd edition, or 2nd edition, because everything above 2nd decided to go, hey, let's take this off of what the players can come up with imagination-wise and just reduce it to a die roll.
Right.
Let's see. There's another topic. He said, do you know that Chris Perkins works a lot for DMing for 4E? Yeah, I knew that. He was working for 2nd edition, too. Let's see. And he gives us a YouTube link for videos. I think it's gaming. Yeah. He says, the above might sound like complaints. I didn't mean it that way. I always felt the great thing about D&D was the ability to add and subtract things, to adjust things I like and disliked into my game.
Right.
I think that's what he said.
That's right.
So all ideas are welcome. I've been listening for a few years, so I obviously like the show. Unfortunately, I listen during the first couple hours at work, so I usually forget anything I want to comment on by the end of my day at work. Yeah, I know about that. More good ideas have come to me while I'm driving along a highway somewhere, and then before I got a halfway decent phone, I couldn't get those ideas down. Not without risking an automobile accident. Anyway,
no text noting while you're driving. Add juju.
Yeah, what was the last thing you remembered before you went over the other side of the road, sir? This big dragon.
That'll get me thrown into detox real quick.
I rolled a save, man.
Yeah.
I made my saving throw, dude. Yeah, I can just imagine that. Yeah, and I'd lose my job, too. That would be wonderful. Anyway, keep up the great work, Keith.
All right, thank you, Keith.
Thanks, Keith.
Sorta.
Woohoo!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I'm the funny guy. I can do no wrong, so yeah, thanks.
Well, we all know you're the comedy relief.
Well, I'm relief. But
You say, hey, I'm putting you on the spot right now. You said it yourself back in I think episode 15 or something like that. How it's a burden being funny. So yeah, you can't be modest now. That's on the internet.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. Whose show is this?
Time, sir.
Whose show is this?
Ours.
Spelled me. But well, if it comes down to it, yeah. Don't worry, I got you guys back. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I protect my peeps.
Yep. Absolutely.
Either that or he's just going to take the internet and go home.
Yes.
I'm going to take my net connection and go home.
I was
Not the net connection, the whole internet.
Wow.
I was voted in high school the person most likely to be thrown under a bus anyway. So anyway, let's go on with the next email.
Okay, next email. This is a new contributor to the show. His name is Ryan Van Orden, but he calls himself DM Porter.
Hi, Ryan Van Orden, Dean Porter.
Yeah, there you go. He says,
Porter.
Go ahead.
Greetings, DM Porter.
Yes.
His name is Porter.
Yeah.
What?
Every time I hear the name Porter, I think of that Mel Gibson movie.
Not stout, not ale, but porter.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. He says, I recently discovered the podcast. I thought I would drop you a line. Thanks for what you do. You're welcome, Ryan.
Yes, you are. Very welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to listen to 12 more shows.
Yeah. Hey, it's like I said, give us 4 shows, and if you don't like us at the end of 4 shows, give us 4 more. Anyway,
we'll give you your money back. Yeah.
Yeah, we do this out of the good kindness of our hearts, and the
emptiness of my brain. Yeah,
goodness of your brain and Vince's wallet. Yes. He saes the sheer nostalgia value is priceless. Now, see, that's a high compliment right there, because, we do tend to go in the Wayback Machine a lot. He says, I am a 35-year-old gamer who got his start 20-plus years ago in 2nd edition. In my mind, for all its supposed flaws, 2nd edition just represents good role-playing at its purest. You won't get any arguments from me about that, Ryan.
I shut up.
Yeah, exactly. Sadly, like DM Kojo, my lovely wife of 13 years sees role-playing as a nerdy waste of time, so naturally I play a short game once a week when she is at work. She knows, of course, but out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, ain't that the truth? I'm also working on my 6-year-old...
Yes, gaming and porn, you're treated the same way.
Yep, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just don't mix them.
Yeah, no, bad idea.
Please.
He says, I'm also working on my 6-year-old kindergartner. She reads at a 4th grade level, so she's almost ready. Hey, if she can read a 4th grade level, she can play D&D for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been listening like mad, trying to get caught up, and I'm almost there. You covered some of my favorite things already, but since Glenn keeps asking for people to write in with their experience, here goes.
I gotta stop doing that.
No, let's not stop doing that.
More.
Nothing frustrates me more than an empty mailbox. Please keep writing.
I'll send all my junk mail to you if you want.
Oh, God, no, I don't want that. I got enough of my own.
You were saying?
Okay, he says, my favorite character was a half-elf ranger with the elven archer kit from the Complete Book of Elves. Instead of Legolas, think Russell Crowe from the recent Robin Hood movie. Never mind the historical inaccuracies, and God only knows there were a lot of them. That was my comment, by the way. That movie was very much our party at the time. Fighter heavy, low magic, regular guys on the run, and sucked into a big political war. Oh yeah, since we were all demi-humans, my original natural enemy was humans. The character grew up among the elves, always an outcast, the product of a human bandit raid on a village. Yeah, that's how most half-elves come about these days. By the way, the warp wood spell from a green dragon really messes up an archer's day. Yeah, you think? But I guess I made myself a target when I caught the dragon monologuing to the party and put an arrow into his eye, rolled a crit, and inflicted over 40 points of damage. Yeah, that'll do it. That's kind of how a ranger of mine died, but I digress. I lovely played that character from 1st to 15th level. Good. Yeah, anything over, say, 8th or 9th, yeah, you're ahead of the game, so to speak. So here's my question. As I said, I have a small group that I game with once a week. We've been playing Fantasy Flight Death Watch game for a while, but I really miss D&D. I think I could get them to play Pathfinder, which I have very little experience with, as it came out right about the time I got married and quit gaming for a while. But when I bring up 2nd edition, there's a lot of eye rolling about the archaic system and general attitude that even existed back in the day. D&D is so dated, blah blah blah.
Oh, what? then you haul out BX.
Yeah, you really
or the rules cyclopedia, cyclopedia.
The brown books.
Yeah, let's go
all the way back to the late 70s.
Let's play with these. Yes. I got something called Greyhawk here.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm going to make a show based off of Greyhawk, so be careful. How does an old grognard like myself, I wouldn't call him a grognard, not at 35.
Grognard in training.
Yeah, exactly. To try out a 2nd edition game. In my experience, if I'm doing my job as the DM, the system melts away, and the story is all that matters. Am I just being unreasonably nostalgic and wanting to run a 2nd edition game? Thanks, Ryan, a.k.a. DM Porter.
Thank you, DM Porter. Hell no, you're not being nostalgic. Those books are good for more than one thing. Beat them over the head until they say yes.
Well, you know what?
Especially the Monstrous Compendium. That thing's really heavy. Really, you can get like 2 or 3 with that.
Yep. Yeah. A good sized pizza take down 80 or 90 of them. Sorry.
I mean, if this was Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, the current edition, he could probably drop it on somebody's foot and break the foot.
Probably.
So, anyway.
That all being said, THACO's Hammer does not advocate the use of gamer bags as a blunt force trauma weapons.
Yeah, well, I don't need that. I've got the Fist of Emrakul right here that's nice and weighty.
Emrakul the Chaotic, yes.
Yes, I've got his fist, and it gets thrown whenever somebody gives me crap. So, anyway.
Let's see. Well, better than what DM Corey does with those 30mm D20s that he winks somebody's head.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Nice, yo!
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, that'll leave a mark for sure.
Go Gadget Dice.
Exactly. My goodness, yeah, I can only... Oh, God, that's heavy. Anyway, getting back to his question. You know something I've been noticing over like the last like couple of months, especially on like the Facebook forums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are starting to come back to first and second edition. You know, it's just something I've noticed recently, and there's actually
I'm gonna pin that donkey tail right on the whole aspect of D&D Next. Because everything about D&D Next that they're pitching and selling and talking about is all the nostalgia of, okay, we admit we screwed it up and we're going to go back to some of the basics. We're going to put this and put this and put this and put this. And everybody's saying, well, we already have that. And I can get it from half-price books for $2.
Exactly.
Let's see what it was really like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. And you want to know something? I'm perfectly okay with that. I am more than okay with it if that's what people want to do, because, you know, they could have. The funny part is that they could have. The major shift, and I've said it a million times before, is when they took D&D, which is up from the 1970s all the way to 1999. It was always a class-based system, and then they shifted it around and made the classes second-class citizens, and then the focus was on the skills. And it's like D&D. I've played third edition more than a few times. I've had fun. It's more about the people you play with than the system, but it's a system that just doesn't smack of D&D to me. It should, to me, it never should be skill based. But
Really?
That's just me. I mean, a game like Star Wars, even back in the D6 days, that was a perfect system because that was skill based. It needed to be. The thing is that as they went through the OCR and RCR full on, you know about this, and going into the Saga edition, is that they had to give the classes a few more perks to take such an onus off.
I'm going to say that so far across the board, and I haven't been able to have a chance to put hands on, test wheels out and go with the Edge of the Empire system, but for D6, D20, and Saga, they all do the Star Wars role-playing game well.
Yes.
They do it well in different ways, which will appeal to a different gamer set, but they all do the game well. That's all that really needs to be said on that as far as edition constructs go. And it works the same for D&D until you go into the alien thing which shall not be named.
Yeah, then there's that. But, and that's the whole thing. I think that's the thing. A lot of people are starting to get back to, the more basic, I hate to say, editions, the older editions, because that will give you what you want without having to, spend $150 on rule books and things of that nature. That's the other reason.
No, now you can spend $550 for original printings on eBay.
Screw that. If you either have a lot of money or you're very stupid if you do that. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but for the sake of this discussion, I'm going to be that guy. You should not spend that much money on D&D. You just shouldn't.
Not unless you're buying all of it at once.
That's true. I mean, that's the story when I switched from first edition to second. I basically had to get rid of my comic collection, which had been growing since, I was like 10.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I got the store credit at the comic/gaming store to get all the rule books and I think like 5 or 6 splat books at the time. Yeah, that's what happened.
Wow. It's incredible.
But yeah, I mean, I like this because you got a lot of people who are kind of disillusioned with the older or the younger editions, and they're just kind of coming back to the basics to kind of get just to get their fix, so to speak.
Okay. Yep. Makes sense.
That's just sense unless you're in the playtest. It's the only game in town. Hey!
Then I don't play.
Yeah, you know a little something about playtesting, don't you, Full On?
Been there, done that.
Yep, been there, done that.
Anyway,
a couple of times.
Who was that again?
That was DM Porter.
Thank you, Porter, again, for that insightful email. What else we got?
Okay. All right, this is a nice, short, and sweet one. Okay. This is from John Stallard. I think that's how it's either Stallard or Stallard, but yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced.
Hiya, John.
And he says, "Greetings, O keepers of long outdated but awesome game systems."
Awesome is the word.
Yep. Yeah, that's the operative word for sure. I really appreciate your review of Dragon Mountain, which was the last major campaign I ran before my second edition days ended. Y'all remember the poster that came in the box? Yeah. I totally had that sucker on my college apartment door. Chick magnet. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, more like,
Hey,
huh?
That's good. That's the right kind of chicks if it's a chick magnet. Damn it.
That's true. Keep on reviewing these old Dungeon Magazine adventures too. You recently mentioned that they were a terrific replacement for the dearth of good published standalone adventures in 2E, and you're absolutely right. Those things made up the bulk of my DMing material back in the day. Anyway, if you take suggestions on future reviews, would you consider Dwarfs Deep? We never did get around to that, because you remember when we did the Dwarf show way back near the beginning. And, we did say we were going to do Dwarves Deep, but we never got around to it. You know something? I'm going to put that in the show notes and try to put a show around it.
Why don't you?
Okay. Says, thanks, y'all. I'm in Virginia, so we say that, yeah. John, most of my family's from Virginia, so yeah.
I'm in Oklahoma. I never hear it around here.
Yeah, no kidding, right? He said, didn't DM Corey go to Granby? I lived in Newport News around the heyday of my 2E gaming some 20 years ago. Well, unfortunately, Corey's not here to answer that, but you know something? If I remember, and that's a pretty big if nowadays, but if I remember, I'll ask him.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's...
Oh, you were the guy he used to wedgie. Okay.
Oh, boy. So, yes, that is John Stallard.
Okay.
Very well, John. So let it be emailed, so let it be done.
We call those emails read.
Yes, we do.
I think we are, done with emails?
I think we are.
Okay, so...
Did we get any voicemails?
No, actually we didn't. The one thing we got...
Show.
The one thing we got was just a simple 30-second one. It was a request for a adventure, which I've already put in the show notes.
Okay, cool. By what, Dizzy?
Which was...
Yeah, that was Angelic Doctor who did it.
That's right. Okay.
So, keep us in suspense. Tease us. What's the,
You want to hear it?
Teasers for people.
Okay.
You can either hear it or you can just say it.
Yeah.
Next on THACO's Hammer.
Next time on THACO's Hammer. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Let me, okay, then give me 2 seconds to set it up and we'll do it.
No, we're not going to do it. I just want to know.
We're not going to do it? Okay.
I just want to know what it was that he wanted.
He wanted us to review The Bandits of Bunglewood.
Done.
Which is in Dragon Magazine. Yeah, I already put it in the show notes.
Okay. We'll get it to you, Angelic. Don't worry. Soon.
Yeah, hang in there.
Yeah. All right. So let us move on to Rule 0.
One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Rule 0.
Yep.
Question for players. Why do you adventure? Son, why do you adventure? Why don't you stay home and run the business with me?
Yeah. Why did you...
Question for players or question for or characters? Or both?
Well, something that's
one has
well,
to answer for the other. So
yeah, exactly. Well, player motivation, most of the time, I won't say all, but most of the time, player motivation is a little different from character motivation, or at least the better players have different motivations. Let's put it that way.
Occasionally one hopes so.
the DM will ask of the players, why do their characters adventure? Let me put it that way.
Yep.
Smash, grab, kill, steal.
Yep. Kill things and take their stuff, get better at fighting, get better at magic, get better at stealing things, get better at turning undead and healing.
Or if you're Viking, rape, loot, and plunder, and
well, minus the rape. Rape is bad. Rape is a bad thing.
Rape. Yes, it is a bad thing. Yes.
Yes. Even in game, it's a bad thing.
Yes.
Like they said, rape the fields and pillage the women. Those are evil men.
Yeah.
They're easy to. They're on the ground. They're easy to kill.
Wow. Woo. Okay.
And then we have the famous scene in The Barbarian Queen when,
I love the way the Animaniacs handle risque stuff. Good night, folks.
Yep. Good night, folks. Yep.
Yeah.
What did you say? Can he say that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But let's see. Players. Well, of course, when a player generates a character, they have a concept. They want to see that concept through to fruition.
Right.
Whether it's the typical peasant boy becomes a somewhat famous warrior or whatever, like Matthew Broderick in Lady Hawk, or what's his name in Dragon Slayer, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The hero's journey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, or at least that's
Or is it the quest for power?
Yes.
I was shoveling manure last week, and look where I am now.
Yeah, I get to beat orcs' brains in. This is fun.
Better than shoveling manure. Better and after 5 years, I get a brush. Anyway, I'm sorry, Brian. That's Monty Python. I know. I'm not supposed.
It's okay. I forgive you this time.
Screw you. I'm going to do it again. Anyway, go ahead.
Thanks. You're such a guy.
Remember, I got your back.
Beg his head to get the floor until forgiven.
Remember, I got your back. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, of course you do. I'm sure that you do. So, now in the case of characters, of course, there are as many motivations to become what to become as,
leaves on the trees.
Yeah, exactly. Grains of sand on a beach, several miles long. Usually when it comes to character concept, at least in my own experience, most of them choose it. Some have it thrust upon them,
right,
like greatness, and then there are others who turn to it as a means to an end.
Yeah.
Most thief characters use adventuring.
And some people just get a vicarious thrill out of doing it.
Yeah, some people are they're crap crazy.
They're daredevils. It's like gentlemen thieves. They don't care about stealing the jewelry. They just want to do it.
Swashbuckler.
Yes. They just want.
Well, know something about that, Full-On.
Yeah.
No.
Some people just get a vicarious thrill out of righting wrongs and beating orcs' heads in.
Yeah, and that's okay. It's good for the role-playing aspect of the game because at the very least you have a base motivation for your character to fall back on. Of course, throughout, if the player's any decent role player at all, that motivation can change. It could, his priorities can change due to circumstances.
Right.
And things of that nature. But, it's always good to ask yourself when you're rolling up a character and you come up with a concept for that character, why is this character skulking around in dungeons?
Right.
Yeah.
Because my mama told me that the hand of Vecna was an awesome thing, but he didn't tell me it was the left hand, not the right hand.
Cut off the wrong hand, Forrest. I'll take the NPCs in the AP podcast as an example. There are only two main NPCs, and One is a twin brother of one of the player's characters who has a different mindset than his brother does, who has had life a whole lot harder than his brother did, and at first, because he basically joined a gang of evil thieves and cutthroats. First was because he had no choice. The second one was because he found a group to belong to, even though after a few years of being with them, their methods of doing things kind of sickened him.
Right.
But, the leader of that group is a master manipulator and almost got that NPC to kill his brother at one point. But as it turns out,
see you in the morning. Mostly kill you in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was one of the famous little byplays that I had with Allie back in the day was, yes, I won't kill you today, brother. That's how he would greet Allie's character. But it's kind of changed, Good
night, Wesley.
Priorities.
Good work. I'd like to kill you tomorrow.
Yeah. The second one, it's basically poor kid, turns out he's got magical aptitude, trained to be a mage, trained to be an invoker, and he's adventuring to amass enough money to get his family out of the debt that they incurred getting him to be apprenticed. You see.
Right. Remember
Wild talent who goes crazy.
one of my favorites is we were talking about the swashbuckling and stuff. The actor Scott Glenn?
Yes.
Yep.
Very good actor. You know why he doesn't do as many movies as he could? He's too busy with his hobby. He's an adrenaline junkie. He is a thrill seeker. And that's a great motivation for a character.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of, something that was, especially early in my gaming career, so to speak, a lot of players, if they put any thoughts towards role-playing at all, because I will say back in the beginning, in the early 80s, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people I played with didn't, let's put it that way. But, that was one of the major motivations, role-playing motivations, and they would do stuff, just to get that risking of life and limb adrenaline rush.
Like I said, the Raffles, the Lupins, the Saints, they don't care if they steal it. They care about the feeling they get when they put one over on when they stole it.
Absolutely.
They most likely give it back, some way or another. They don't care. Right. It's the chase.
Yep, thrill of the chase. It's true.
Yes, it's the thrill of the chase, and that's a great motivation because your DM will never run out of stuff for you to do.
No. Ever. And that's one of the things that once you guys get out of where you're at in your current adventure and you get back to civilization, that's a lot of what's going to be going on.
We all knew Sherlock Holmes was a junkie for a while.
Something?
But what? He was an adrenaline.
What?
You didn't know about his habit?
No. Well, you see, only time I think I read Sherlock Holmes once when I was a kid because I was like,
let me break it down for you. He had a cocaine habit. You know the reason he had a cocaine habit? Because he was addicted to solving crimes. And he hated to be bored. He called the ennui. He said he hated that he didn't, and so he'd turn to the needle.
Yeah. He started doing heroin.
Yeah, and he would do that when he didn't have a case to occupy his mind.
Well, and that's the thing. That's the wonderful thing about the modern day Sherlock Holmes that Robert Downey Jr. is doing. They explore that aspect of him. He's just not out there, where it's something like a Greek chorus, where it's like, Holmes is an idiot. Holmes is only there to make Sherlock, not Holmes, Watson's only there to make Holmes look good.
No, it's never been like, even the Jeremy Brett stuff. He was a common man. He was a common doctor.
Right.
And there was, what was I watching the other day? I think it was a Speckled Band where it was a Solitary Cyclist where she explains the thing to him and she leaves and he's thinking, oh, okay, this is just another case. And then she explains it to him and he goes, this case is not clear to me, and he gets a big smile on his face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
and that's
my fix again. I'm getting my fix again.
Yeah, exactly. That's a major motivation. There's an article in Dragon Magazine that I vaguely remember but it explores this whole aspect about, what's your character's motivation. I mean, it's like I said, it all depends on the player whether or not they think of that. But, but the whole thing is that it's up to you as to whether or not you give that thought to your character. Now, when I create NPCs, I'm like, okay, now why would these people be hanging around with, the players and whatnot? It could be out of necessity. It could be out of a mutual goal that they share and things like that.
There are some motivations that
fear.
There's some motivations that are really hard to, I'm not going to say have, but maintain.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's thrust into something through circumstance to stay alive or something like that,
right?
Once the problem is dealt with, you better find something else.
Yeah. And see, that's the other thing, and that's what comes down to the motivation, because it's like, okay, once you get done doing this, I mean, that's half the reason why I read it in the complete book of Paladins, why there aren't very many Paladins over the age of 30. Because they go from one situation to the next, from one quest to the next, and give themselves like almost zero time to either recover or reflect from the first thing they did, and they just keep going that way until finally they run into an evil greater than their faith, and they either get killed or they fall.
Yeah.
And
you know what? I lost my train of thought. Sorry, go ahead.
But when it comes down to why do you adventure now, because let's see, the money motivation is, just going and skulking around. Yeah, it is. I mean, the monetary one, trying to find strange magic, just, going out and righting wrongs and, just going from one spot to another.
And you know what? I want to tell this to younger players. It's okay to have a moral reason to be an adventurer. It's okay to do the right thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to be badass and, mercenary or, stuff like that, or torture stuff, but it's okay to help people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And something, and usually it works out better for you when you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you should always find out if there's a reward and stuff, but if you're constantly going around going, what's in it for me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you can always split the difference. Hey, split the difference. The motivation that splits the difference is revenge.
Then there's that.
Yes.
Then there is that.
Yeah, I'm playing a Knuckles the 16th. I'm looking for my long lost second cousin's brother.
Knuckles the 15th?
Yeah. He had this ring I really, really want back. I really, really want.
I want to go around and play a Noel with a bandaged hand. He's going around looking for the guy who shot his paw.
Oh.
I had to say that. Sorry.
Oh, you didn't have to, but
yeah,
you
I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. But, and that's what it just comes down to. It just comes down to the motivation of, why is your character skulking around in dungeons? Why is your character going up against, hordes of orcs or goblins or ogres or whatever comes your way?
Yes.
You got to always think about that. Yeah.
And you know what? You may say, all right, fine. Money's a good motivation. In fact, it's a damn good carrot for the DM.
Yep.
I mean,
yep. And the monsters are the stick.
Yeah. To beat them with.
Yep. Yep. If you survive,
you can always change that up. You can make the monster the carrot.
True.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Please go forth and quest. Gather to me 2 sylphs and a nereid.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. I get it. I have an NPC who has oh God, I've just forgotten the name of the monster. What is wrong with me today? I can't remember anything.
Nymph companion, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's a motivation in and of itself. I mean, the whole classic.
I have a dragon for my familiar. I'm going to keep trying till I get one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good luck with that one. I mean, but the whole thing is that, if when you're generating your character, I'll say to wrap it up, it's like when you're generating your character and you're going to be doing at least some role playing, think about it. Just give a thought. Even if it's just like, I just want to be the greatest warrior in all the land. I want to be a legendary warrior. I want to rise to the power level of the gods.
Once again, I'm going to refer to that Dragon magazine, which I can't remember the number of, that had all the good villain stuff in it, the 7-sentence NPC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's great for writing NPCs, but they're damn good for getting a motivation for your character, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good for players, good for DMs.
Yep,
yes.
For sure.
Yeah, now we're going to get mail. Great.
Ooh.
What issue is that? I don't
225.
Remember. Thank you.
Oh, no, actually, that's not 225. Hold on.
All right.
You go ahead while I look it up.
All right, I'll wrap it up. What do you guys use for motivation for your characters? Tell us at thacoshammer@gmail.com or our number, 405-826-0555. Yeah, remember that.
Glenn, you missed it.
No,
806.
806-0555.
Yeah.
Fine.
This is why you have either myself or Corey say it.
And the funny thing is, I picked the number.
That's the best part.
I thought, it's got 3 5s in it. I'm going to remember this.
Glenn, whatever are we going to do with you?
What we're going to do is go on to Magic Fingers.
Okay.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. Traveler's Spell Sphere. It's a clerical spell. Sphere. Spell, sphere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dragon, yeah. Traveler Spell Sphere.
Thank you.
Hard P, soft P.
Say that 10 times real fast.
I could probably do it, but we won't.
I could take up 10 minutes of the show. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. Let's just move right along.
Okay. This deals with, again, spells the gods give his servants for, going from place to place and
making the going easier,
yes,
or more difficult, depending on what you're trying to do.
Yes, pilgrims, all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
And it's pretty awesome, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, I you know something? If you generate a cleric, they should get this sphere, because it makes journeying from the town to the dungeon, especially if it's a couple of days journey, it makes the going a lot easier.
In other words, it's the best way to piss off your DM.
I wouldn't say that. The sphere of time would do that.
Well, that does it too.
Yeah. But,
especially if you had both and a long scarf.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and a small golem dog.
Asha.
Now. You've got, you have a smattering of spells that are split fairly evenly between the Tome of Magic and player's option spells and Magic.
Okay.
Wait.
So the Traveler Sphere was not in the original Player's Handbook?
No, it was not.
Okay.
The Tome of Magic was like the first major spell accessory to second edition.
Right.
Tome of Magic, I think, came out in 1990.
And the rest of them are in the Player's Option Spells and Magic.
That's correct.
And if you don't have either of them, the Pre-Spell Compendium will do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as we're going along, I mean, some of the spells are actually self-explanatory. Spells like, there we go. Spells like No Direction, create campsite. Those kind of things are fairly, self-explanatory.
Now, No Direction is like giving yourself a compass?
Correct. Yeah, magical compass for the most part.
Can you do a reverse called No Direction? In case you want to confuse the enemy or something? Put it on the ground?
You know what? Let me look it up and I will tell you.
And No Direction.
Yeah. You have no direction. There we go. Okay.
I suppose you could
It's
use
not
that.
reversible, so no.
Ah.
Unfortunately, even though I could probably see it being reversible.
Yeah, like light and load.
Mm-hmm. Yep, light and load is another
That
one.
would be a great Traveler's defensive spell to cast on like that Orc Legion chasing you down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Reversed.
Oh, continue.
What?
What's to continue? It's reversed.
Explain that a little further.
Take the light and load, reverse it, drop it on somebody who's pursuing you, and now they have a heavy load. It over encumbers them, overburdens them, slows them down, and gives you a better lead.
Yeah, you know something? That's a really good idea. You have another one called Aura of Comfort, which is basically it regulates the temperature of the person the spell is cast upon, and it insulates them from anywhere in a range of temperatures from 20 below zero to 140. So subarctic temperatures going all the way up to, the hottest deserts. You can actually, the aura around him would still be like at 70 degrees.
As opposed to the reverse aura of discomfort, which conjures up an imp with a stick who keeps poking you.
Yeah. I could see that also being reversed, but most of these spells are not reversible, which is unfortunate. If you're playing it by the book, if you want to screw with the rules, come up with that, sure.
That there are so many people who have house ruled it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, even if they didn't house rule it, they could always go into the spell research and say, you know what, I like that Easy March spell, but I want to have something that's going to slow folks down. I'm going to make, Difficult Journey, the reverse spell of Easy March.
Yeah.
And drop that on people. Or,
I could see that.
Or vice versa. Or put a cursed item out there that has that spell on effect around it as an area and just let the party find it.
Mm-hmm.
Bitchin'.
Yeah,
treasure that they don't want to let go, but as long as they keep it, they go slow.
That four-poster
Pass
bed.
Without Notice is like something that summons creatures to you regularly and keeps life interesting when reversed. Any number of things. There's all kinds of things you could do with the Travelers Club and the Club of Travelers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy!
But the most spell, at least out of this sphere, that I've seen used as a player and a DM is, of course, Create Campsite. That one is one of those things that it even says the caster generates a squadron of tiny invisible servants who create a campsite for the caster and his companions. The caster indicates a desired area for the campsite, an area 50 foot in radius or less, and the number of persons the campsite is to accommodate. Mm-hmm. And the servants clear the area of debris, set up tents and bedrolls, start a campfire, fetch water, and prepare a bland meal.
And I want to see the reverse of that. Destroy campsite.
You know what? They do have a reverse.
It conjures up every bear and raccoon in the area to descend on this campsite.
No. See, that would be a completely different spell. The reverse is just basically breaks the campsite down and disposes all the debris and extinguishes the fires. Yeah.
This giant bear with a shovel comes over and puts the fire.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Actually, I got away with my party actually got so far as they used Hovering Road, which is a fun one.
Oh, really? Man, let me get that one. Is that in Tome of Magic or is that in
let's see.
Spells and Magic?
Tome of Magic.
Okay, got it. Hovering Road. The spell enables the caster to create a magical 10-foot wide road extending 10 feet in front of him. The caster can create an unbroken road for the duration of the spell, which is 1 turn per level, creating a 10-foot area ahead of him as long as he continues to move forward. See, that's pretty damn cool.
Could they make it yellow?
That's basically doing the Magneto thing.
Yes.
Just
yes.
Just
creating. In the first X-Men movie where he has Rogue imprisoned or whoever it was. Oh no, that Senator. And there's no bridge to where he's in prison. Magneto just basically creates the bridge every time he goes over it. Mm-hmm. It's actually pretty cool.
Could they make it yellow and make it out of bricks?
Sorry. I knew you were going to do that. But yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's a great spell to get to a place where you can easily access, and I mean,
that's a siege breaker spell. That's a river crossing spell. That's all kinds of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's all to the caster's imagination as to how it's used.
Yep.
And it lasts for a while, 1 turn per level, which is at the very least what, full on, at least
Let's
sorry.
see, for a 7th level spell. Woo!
So it works. Whatever the
first
caster imagines for a road and his will, that's how it works.
Yeah, just basically create.
Does it? Okay. Does it come with a?
It makes a black granite bridge that originates from a solid object. So you got to anchor it at a starting point, and then it goes. You control the rise or fall of it, so you can arch it over impassable objects or rivers or barriers or whatnot. You could probably take it up and over a castle wall, and it extends and extends and continues to extend as long as you keep moving forward.
Right. It's part of a magic item, a green ring,
or an ice, coating.
That's true.
Yeah, something like that. There's also one more spell that I want to cover, and that's Monster Mount.
Monster Mouth?
Monster Mount.
Oh, Monster Mount.
Yes.
I don't want to know about that one.
Why don't you? Oh, you're funny. But that's basically a self-explanatory spell, you would think.
Uh-huh.
And if I can get this description, there it is. This spell compels 1 or more living creatures to serve as mounts for the caster and his companions.
Living creatures, oh boy, that's a lot of latitude.
Think Cinderella. What were the horses made out of?
Think of that big Conanish fighter over there. Hey, you. Zap. Let me get on your shoulders. There we go.
Well,
hey, the Titan and Time Bandits.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, the giant? Yeah.
I mean, the one thing is that the creature that you're transforming has to have an intelligence of 4 or less.
Oh, easy, the fighter.
Yeah, exactly. Each intended mount gets a saving throw versus spell. If they fail, they become docile and obedient, allowing to be ridden and moving at the speed and direction indicated by the caster. Yeah.
Everybody needs their own pet warg.
Hey. Whatever gets you from point A to point B, my friend. That's all I got to say.
Rabbits in a sled.
But yeah, I mean, when I read this spell, that's exactly what I thought of when Fairy Godmother turned those 6 mice into horses to draw the carriage.
Uh-huh.
For Cinderella to go to the ball.
Right.
But the only problem is that the spell has a duration, and it ended up being that duration. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, if you can, say, find, some mice, or even, what's even better?
What?
A tribe of kobolds. I'm just going to go to the adventure crowd surfing on a mob of kobolds.
No, better one. You find a cat, you turn him into Battle Cat.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't really transmogrify anything.
No, it just makes it to be written.
It just makes them willing to be used as a mount.
Right. I know.
So you're not going to make a battle cat, a kitten into battle cat. But like I said, you could compel a whole bunch of lemmings just to be a living carpet that scurry you along.
Oh, that would be creepy.
Over the cliff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
fine. Spiders.
Yeah, that could be
That's
done.
a hit dice per swarm. Up to 10 hit dice. 10 hit dice of swarming spiders just serve as your demi-lich's conveyance platform.
Oh, are you still on demi-liches, really?
Whatever.
Yeah, there's the dumb cleric. It's like casting that on a squirrel. You really didn't think this through, did you?
No.
Now, a bunch of squirrels to pull a wagon.
That would be so weird.
Again, another useful turn for the enlarged spell.
Hey, it worked with Randaghast with rabbits.
Or shrink.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is very true. Radagast was right and was, being pulled by rabbits.
Big rabbits. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are some big bunnies.
That was one of my favorite parts of that film. Seeing Red next to the sled.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. I agree.
Anyway, so why don't you tell us all about it, people? Peeps, I know you got them. What am I saying? All right. I don't know. I attempted to wrap up this segment, and I just got brain lock.
It happens.
So, Gamer Nation, how do you use the Traveler's Sphere?
Thank you for
your Priestley stories.
At THACOshammer@gmail.com. You can also go to osrgaming.org, Dragon's Foot, Strolling Citadel, Circus Maximus, Nutkinland.
And D20radio.com.
And D20radio.com for now. Yeah, Facebook, Twitter. You still follow the Twitter, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I put up updates all the time when we got stuff going on. It's true.
Okay. Yeah, well, Twitter. But Facebook's a good one. We should have our own community on there. You know, Wild Games Productions or THACO's Hammer or something like that.
We do have that.
No, I mean, we got that, but I mean like a community. Like they've got a second edition group, and they got a Beckme group, they got a first edition, you know, that kind of thing.
Maybe that's
Google Plus Hangout group. Make a circle.
There we go.
Yeah, we do need to do that.
Yeah, we need to make the circle. Soon to come to Google Plus.
Yeah.
But for
Stay
now,
tuned, true believers.
For now, let's move on to Loaded for Bear.
Bet you don't have a pair of these, Earthling.
And for the big critters, sometimes you got to bring out the nuclear weaponry.
Loaded for Bear.
Loaded for that earth sign creature over there. Slings and darts. Let's just pelt them to death.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you're a cleric and when you're a mage, you don't have very many options with that as far as that's concerned.
My name isn't David. So
hey, that's the classic case of someone getting a critical hit and rolling a double aught when they determined the critical hit and killed somebody, killed basically a giant,
or exploding dice. Yes.
Yeah, that too. Either way
roll
works.
Them 20s, yeah.
Or simply, going back to my old standard, there's a reason they make that spell called Pebble to Boulder.
Do with an enlarged spell.
Yep. Or reduce spell, either way.
A lot of shrink spells, and you throw it at an inherently magic dispelling creature.
Here's just a side note. I thought of an interesting way to use the rock to mud spell. If a giant's got a boulder over his head, hit it with rock to mud.
Mm-hmm. Get the spell off. Yep, and it turns its blood and coats his face. He's blind. Yep, hey, that works.
You sit around and laugh at him. There we go. Anyway, we're talking about slings and darts. Yes.
Yeah, my name is Mud. Anyway.
Yeah. We're talking about darts like dartboard darts, or
no? These things are more like lawn darts. The ones that if they hit you in the right place, they can possibly kill you.
Oh.
I mean,
really, you think of these as that next generation above a throwing knife, where it's really just a big old spike for flinging.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
How big are we talking about here? A foot long or what?
I'd say between 6 inches and a foot.
Okay, so you can't really do the old poison dart with the blowgun thing.
Well, that's a different kind of dart.
Okay,
that's specific to a blowgun.
Yeah, you'll usually find that well detailed in things like your Oriental Adventure supplements and stuff like that. But basically, just like they say, it's a small javelin for skirmishers and light cavalry.
Yep.
Much like your classical trained Roman hoplite soldier, he's going to have the big spear, little spear, and a couple of chucking spears.
Yep, absolutely. And the thing is that of course, playing the old gold box games, you had to arm your mage with several hundred darts, because in combat there came certain places where all your other characters had gone in the round and the mage was the only one left and you couldn't cast a spell for some reason.
With the bandolero of dart. With the bandoleros of darts, yes.
Yep, exactly. You can throw 3 of them in a round.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And if you can get darts of tripling and you're throwing 3 of them around and you're hasted, you are awesome.
Oh, God.
You just go...
that looks like a porcupine over there.
I stand here like 6 to 9 round burst.
Hey, look
at dart of the hornet's nest. That's all.
And before they started putting these cap to strength adjustment to hurled weapons, we were taking out giants like 50 cals.
Yeah, which is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
but,
you throw. Oh, I can see it now. I can see it now. You throw those darts. Look at Orcupine.
But I mean, that's basically what a darts of the hornet's nest does. If you throw one of these darts at a target and it hits the target, then all of a sudden magical darts come in and hit the target as well. Yeah, there have been, using the gold box as an example, I've had I actually equipped fighters with darts of the hornet's nest for those times where I had to reach a spell casting mage and I couldn't get through to him.
Is that in the Encyclopedia Magica?
What? Dart of the Hornet's Nest? Yes.
Good.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's like once you hit it once, then it gets hit multiple times for the same amount of damage.
Oh.
And it could be anywhere I think it's like from 5 times to like 12 or something like that. I'd have to look it up, but yeah, the darts are, they're for, short range. The range on them is like 2 squares, 4 squares, 8 squares, or respectively 10 feet, 20 feet, and 40 feet.
Okay.
At range.
Okay.
So you can just throw those. I mean, that's
which
more
is respectable for shank throwing,
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, can you put a dart in a sling?
No.
Okay.
No, you cannot.
Just thought I'd ask. You put a stone in a sling. I figured maybe you could. What?
You can, and that's called weapon proficiency exotic atlatl.
There you go. Yeah, atlatl. Yeah.
Which is a dart on a sling.
Oh. Yeah.
A flinging stick.
Yep.
Oh, the flinging sticks. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That was used in, I won't say ancient times, but it was in existence for quite some time.
I can imagine.
It was used on Top Shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get increased range with that thing. It was amazing.
Okay.
But going to the sling, now the sling is only, you can only fire one shot around, of course, because you're whirling it either sidelong or over your head to throw it at your enemy. The range on it depends on what you're using. If you're using a stone, it's like 8, 16, 24, which is like, 40, 80, 80, and 120.
Right.
120 feet is like the maximum range. And that's a D4 for damage. Now, sling bullets, those do a lot more damage, actually, especially against large creatures.
Really?
And they get better range, too.
As opposed to the stones.
Yes, as opposed to stone, you're just picking up a rock, putting it in this little swatch of cloth, and you're whirling it around to throw it at somebody.
Stones are balanced, right?
Right.
Bullets are balanced. Bullets are balanced. Hey, bullets are balanced.
The bullets are balanced. They're also often like they look like ion stones sometimes because they aren't just necessarily flat shanks and slugs of metal. Sometimes they're the ones that have the yo-yo groove in the middle, so you can actually get a ballistic spin to it. You can get a couple interesting characteristics to a well-crafted, mastercraft sling bullet.
Yep.
Teflon coated bullets for those,
hollow point bullets.
Point bullets. What a mess.
Isn't it though?
Small hollow clay bullets with fire trap on them.
Oh, here we go.
Now, well, that was the thing. Yeah. Bullets with a glass center which had oil of impact poured into it. Yeah. Things like that. Okay.
We know a librarian who uses that kind of thing.
Yes, his name is Catterley and his girlfriend's hot. Anyway. Moving on to the next one, which is the staff sling, which the staff sling, for what it is, it kind of gets overlooked as an alternate missile weapon for like either mages or clerics, but I can see why, looking at the Tome of Magic description. Basically what that is, it's basically more or less a staff with a slingshot at one end.
Okay, okay.
Where you plant the staff into the ground and you basically load it, pull back the elastic thing and you launch it at an enemy.
So it's not a piece of cloth on rope. It's
They don't
like
say they don't say elastic. They say it's leather, and it's more like it's really just a big flinging stick. Basically,
gotcha.
You are a one piece, one unit friggin' trebuchet.
Yeah,
a little micro trebuchet. You have a bar with a sling end on it, also known as a hoopak, and you just fling things.
The hoopak is actually better.
I'm
surprised. You can use that for a melee weapon or a missile weapon.
I know, slings are slings and these are these sling staffs, but you'd think somebody would have either invented, they probably already did, but I mean, picked up for the game. You know how you have crossbows and you have hand crossbows? Little pistols?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that?
Shot.
Why did you, no, but I mean
slingshot.
I mean, like a hand staff sling where it's about half the size. You just carry it around on your side here and you pull it out.
Or in your back pocket.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about regular slingshot. I'm talking about like a mini staff that comes out of it so you get more leverage. So you can swing it around and go boom.
Right. That's basically what a hoopak is.
Okay.
But that's a whole different thing.
That's metal.
Yeah. You usually take it like this big. See, I think people don't like slash slings because they think of the 10-foot pole. They think, this thing's gonna get. I can't go through the dungeon with this. It's gonna get caught.
No, they can do it. It's just basically a quarterstaff with one end that you can use
Not
as
even that.
a sling.
It's just short wooden staff.
Yeah, but the problem is that
staff. It's a walking stick with a leash.
Yeah, I mean the problem is that you can only use it once around, and the speed factor is horrible. It's an 11.
Right. That's what I said. A hand version would be
anything from 0 to 12 squares away is a medium range shot.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah. Then there's that. Well, actually, for I think they changed that for combat and tactics.
I'm reading from combat and tactics.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So that's the other drawback to a staff sling, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
But the good thing is you could use like a stink pot, which you could use like contact poison, or an area of effect, sort of
sovereign
clown
glue
kind of thing. Sovereign glue. Ooh.
Put that around the lip of a bag of devouring and throw it.
Wow. You know what? I'd give it a chance. If you can pull it off, I'd give you a chance at it. But, jeez.
Do you see that picture on Facebook about why D&D, if engineers wrote it, had a picture of an arrow with a cage on it.
The Annihilation arrow?
Yeah, the Annihilation arrow. It had a bag of holding on the end with a cage with a rolled up portable hole. When it hits, it shoves a portable hole in the bag of holding.
Yeah, you see, that's why I don't allow things like that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You still have yet to rule on Corey's fire trap arrows.
Hey, let's put it this way: if you get the right person to do it, and you guys do know a blacksmith now, if you could, I'd say you'd have a fairly decent chance at. The problem is, it's like, that would be like a combined effort between like Corey and like, a mage of higher level and things like that, and an engineer.
Yep.
And then getting a blacksmith.
Or an engineer. Mm-hmm. Or a gnomish engineer, yeah.
Are there any other types, really?
Yeah.
If you want really good stuff built, you always go with a dwarven engineer.
That's true. But, that's why I try to jury rig, not black powder, but some kind of powder like that for not only guns, but I mean, I miss like sappers, dwarven sappers.
Oh yeah.
Guys who like explosive stuff.
Yeah, they like blowing things up for sure.
Right, and it's hard to blow stuff up in D&D unless you do it with like a fireball or something.
Or, a staff of Magi Retributive Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You send out a chart?
I found ways.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Everything from, let's see, the inverted ziggurat, where we dropped a lightning bolt into the crayfish layer, so that was... The DM judged that to effect electrolysis and separate the water into free-floating hydrogen and oxygen. Then we threw a fireball in there.
That's not...
you know what you got in the end? A big pile of gumbo.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's just good eating.
Vegetables, rice, great fish gumbo. Oh, yeah.
I guarantee.
My party went and baited in a whole bunch of the Fomorian giants to come ambush, air quotes, their sleeping party when their sleeping party was actually a whole bunch of flour sacks with fire trap on them.
Oh!
Now, see, I like that.
Aerosolized flour plus fire trap.
Yeah, that's bad.
When I was watching Braveheart, and when they seeded the fields with oil or tar or whatever, and then lit it aflame. Remember that part?
Season 2 of Game of Thrones with friggin' the fire there.
Yeah, well,
King Arthur for that matter.
Yeah, in Braveheart, I kept waiting for a bunch of trolls to stumble into it.
But you know what? The first time I ever saw that tactic used was Beastmaster.
Yup.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw them use that tactic of making a wall of fire with when they poured all that flammable oil or tar into the moat. Yeah.
Nice.
At that last fight where they fight the Jun.
Yeah. And the guy who doesn't like it is the guy who has to clean it up afterwards.
Well, everybody has a job they have to do.
You could tell us you're slinging slings and dart stories, bullets.
Oh, that is priceless.
Stories.
Go ahead. Tell us how you're going to sling your bull stories at us.
Yeah, let's just leave that.
THACOshammer@gmail.com and all the other places. Let's go on to Snipe Hunks.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead.
I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Hunt them snipe. Let's do a snipe hunt. The Behar. Not Joy.
Beware?
Not Joy Behar, but Behar.
Beware?
Yeah, beware the Behar, yeah.
Yeah, Behar with Joy Behar's head on it. Oh, my God.
Oh, God. No, man, that's kind of scary.
Okay. It's page 20 in the Monstrous Manual.
Yep.
It sure is. Boy, howdy.
Yep, page 23 in the Monstrous Collection, if you're lucky enough to have it.
Okay, it's a reptile with a very long reptile with a lot of feet.
Yeah, 12 legs. Gives it a movement rate of 15. You're not outrunning this thing.
No.
Not without the benefit of haste spell.
And it has scales, so it's got some armor.
Yep. You can create armor out of it, yes.
That's right. The hit dice is 12.
12 hit dice, yes.
Oh, yeah. AC of 4, THACO of 9.
Correct.
So it's not too hard to hit, not too easy to hit.
Just a lot of hit points.
Right.
as many hit dice as in a Rumberax, which we covered in our previous episode.
And the good news is they're not very bright.
No. And if these things were bright, look out.
And they are 40 feet long.
Correct.
It's immune to its special attack is a lightning bolt, but it's also immune to electricity and poison. How about that?
Yep.
And it's into swallowing things whole.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. A natural 20 on the attack roll will mean that a man-sized prey or smaller gets swallowed, and they start losing 1/6 of their starting hit points each round until it dies.
Right. And they make great scale mail armor.
Yes.
Now, do you think if you harvest parts off this creature with the electricity and stuff like that, you think you can make some badass armor that would go up against electrical attacks?
Yeah, if you enchant it, sure.
You're immune to electrical attacks while you're wearing this piece of, say, a breastplate or a full set or whatever.
Where do you think they get the needed materials to put together the masterwork base item that you make magic items like this from? This is one of those things where, I can use silver, I can use gold, I can use electrum, but I've got Behar scales. That's how you go into that calculation for magical item crafting from spells and magic to give yourself a bonus to your magic item, to your spell or to your magic item crafting because you took the extra effort of exceptional items, of exceptional materials.
Right.
Okay. Suitable exceptional materials.
Even in the ecology, they even give you suggestions what pieces of this monster can be used to create magic items. The horns can be used to brew ink necessary to inscribe a lightning bolt spell scroll.
Ah.
The talons can be used by a cleric to make ink for a neutralized poison scroll.
Nice.
The heart of it can be used for ink for a protection of poison scroll. And things like that. Now, the funny part about a Behir, I mean, we're not going to get the combat just yet. We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But when a Behir swallows the prey whole, there is a chance that there will be treasure inside the monster that cannot be digested. There's a fairly good chance, there's a 10% chance for some small items, but most of the time it'll be gems.
It's why they're bitter and neutral evil. They're blocked up.
I don't know what counts for Senecott for these things, but anyway,
Halflings.
Yeah, something.
Give them Ripicac.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, that makes you throw up.
Okay, so that would be lizard dudes, the stinky ones.
Oh yeah, troglodytes.
Yeah, swallow a few of those.
Whoa. Yikes. Yeah, they no kidding.
Imagine the breath he'd have in the morning.
Mm-hmm. What's that, Glenn?
Imagine the breath he'd have in the morning.
I wouldn't want to be around it, that's for sure. There's a 60% chance there'll be gems, 30% there'll be 1 to 8 pieces of jewelry, which can be pretty lucrative if you want to actually want to cut the thing open after you kill it. Well, of course.
Get the scales anyway.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And a 10% chance there may be a small magical object that's indigestible, like a ring or something like that. Yeah. Which would be, and they say that these things can never found in a Behir's lair because the creature expels the waste and buries it elsewhere. So
it's got a litter box.
Yeah, something like that. Now, the first time I ever saw this monster, and I think this monster was created specifically for that adventure, is S4, Lost Caverns of Sojcan. And speaking of that, I saw on Facebook, and I'll post the link. I'll make sure to remind myself to post the link when I get to posting the show notes on thinkershammer.com. Okay. But I found something on Facebook where this one guy did an artist rendition of a party going through the module of S4 Lost Caverns of Sojcan.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's hilarious.
You make that into a poster almost.
Yeah, it's a poster-sized rendition. I was like, oh my god, this is hysterical. But I only mention that because that's like one of the monster, the Behir, that's where the first appearance was.
Okay.
I think Sojcan, I'm trying to remember when that module was written. I want to say 1984, either 83 or 84, I think. But, that's where this monster first came. And on the cover is a Behir giving an adventuring party the business with its lightning breath.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And now getting to the combat end of it, if I can find my...
Interesting things about a Behir is that they have a couple of modes of movement. Aside from their scampering along at a movement rate of 15, they can fold their legs in and slither like a snake, and they can climb at fully half of their move rate. So looking up becomes much more important.
And you know what? We expect several claw bites out of this one. Plus the lightning. Plus the poison. But they could also pull a trick out of the Python book and grab you and squeeze you.
Yep, that's how they attack their prey, by first biting, then looping its body around the victim and squeezing. If the latter attack succeeds, then the victim is subject to 6 talent attacks next round.
Yeah, 6 ricks.
Yeah.
Imagine you take a string of concertina wire and you loop it around the neck of your favorite opponent, then you pull it like a zip serve.
Ooh.
That's a Behir.
Yeah,
doing a grapple attack.
He's got all these attacks. He does the lightning thing and all of this. Why poison? It just doesn't seem to. One of these things is not like the other. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because they don't like dragons.
okay, it just doesn't seem to fit. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, I'm looking up the poison, and unfortunately, it's a little. The problem with it is that the information's incomplete because it doesn't even mention what the poison does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is that. This is one of the problems I had with the monstrous compendiums, and so forth.
It has immunity to poison.
Oh, it's immune.
Poison is not a special attack.
Okay,
that's what. Okay,
thank
you.
This is part of its whole thing of any land solitary and is not friendly with dragonkind. Mm-hmm. It's going to be in direct it's going to be a stupid little lizard in direct contest with green dragons and such.
That would be interesting.
Gotcha.
I think the dragon would win that fight, but it would be an interesting one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. If the dragon is smart, and usually they are, he'll stay in the air. Yeah. He won't try to engage this thing, straight up, because if the Behir gets its body around him and starts raking, the dragon's got some issues.
Yeah,
Behirs like layering in high cliffs, and they don't willingly enter a dragon territory, but if a dragon enters theirs, they will do everything in their power to drive the dragon out.
Yep.
And if it's a dragon with a
they run like 400 square mile areas.
Yeah, and if it's a dragon with an electrical attack,
like a blue dragon.
Yeah. Boy.
Oh no! I'll give.
Yeah, go ahead, hit
dragon that fight.
Yeah, it's like here. Yeah, go ahead, hit me.
Yeah.
Blow your electrical attack right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I would give them...
Remember, the Behir, he gets one every 10 rounds. Dragon only gets 3.
Yep. Yeah, 3 at the beginning and once every other round if he wants to.
Yeah, and it hurts a hell of a lot more than a Behir's.
Yeah. You can survive a Behir's because it's only 24 points of damage with a save versus breath weapon for half.
Right.
So more often than not, if you're going up against one of these things and you decide to fight it, unless you're just going to be one of those, like Juan said way back when, draw down and just attack it to kill it, not knowing exactly if you're strong enough to do it. But if you're just one of those kind of parties, you'll survive it. You'll survive it. Best thing to do
is training for when you get to go fight a blue dragon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a good sparring partner.
Yeah, the warm-up before you go fight the dragon, yeah.
Hey, you think the baby blue dragons would keep them as pets?
They don't get along with dragons, so I can't see it.
Well, if he has that...
However,
what?
Gladiatorial combat, where you have somebody who decided to have a show and they put a juvenile blue dragon and a Behir in a pit together, along with, some people that they want to see executed. It's fight between these things. Lightning flying everywhere, and claws, big lizardy creatures flumping around and slamming into pillars and mushing characters underneath them.
Sort of the.
I didn't say that out loud.
Sort of the fantasy,
no, not at all.
Sort of the fantasy version of bear baiting.
Something like that.
Dragon baiting, yeah.
Yeah, Behir baiting, what?
Yeah.
The slave in Geonosis wasn't the only place to do that kind of thing.
That's very true. That was a good fight, though. But we digress.
Anyway, so Behirs are very handy in certain situations. You can find them anywhere, according to the book.
Mm-hmm.
They be where?
Except maybe underwater. But then again, some DM will come up with a aquatic Behir.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's because lightning bolts underwater turn into basically these globes.
Area effect attacks. That's what they turn.
Yes, exactly.
And you could very easily make an eel version of this and just drive right along nicely.
The Beheel.
The Beheel.
Yeah.
Beheel. Yes.
So now we just ruined half the campaigns out there for the players.
Oh yeah. Oh well. You can always roll up a new character. Deal.
That's true. I can see some stupid, backwards natives worshipping one. I don't know.
Yeah.
An island or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the Behir is intelligent enough to let them do it because it's easy food.
Yeah, they make like statues of him, and send the Virgin every once in a while to the Bahir, and yeah, he says, well, we say they're virgins, but he don't care.
Yeah,
food is food.
Yeah, food is.
See, this could be one of those level up options of sticking to the Isle of Dread.
Ooh.
Hey, I'd throw one of those in there.
Good idea.
Easily. I mean, I've used Bahir, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're fun. Yeah, they're fun. they can give a medium level party some fits.
Yep.
Yeah, not quite as much as the Arumbarax, but pretty close.
What could go up against this thing and be effective?
Anything that's immune to piercing damage. Anything that's, of course, immune to lightning.
No, I mean, what could the players do?
Oh,
as far as like going.
You want to know what you do with? You want to know what you do with this thing?
Enlighten us.
Yeah, you kill it at a distance.
Web.
You use as many missile weapons as you can muster. Use as many magic missiles, fireballs, ice storms, cones of cold, anything you can use to take this
acid
thing
arrows.
out at a distance.
Acid arrows.
Yeah. Bell's acid arrow, exactly. Yeah, stuff that does continual damage too. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's exactly how you take
rock to mud, mud to rock, saw.
Oh God.
Anybody want a steak?
God help me if anyone in any game gets that spell and starts abusing it. Seriously. He
seems to be quite a versatile monster, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he got, it will give you crushing damage, or not crushing damage, it'll give you the raking damage if they are able to get around a victim, then the lightning bolt on top of it.
I would not give it a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying,
I would give it a collar of invisibility.
No, I'm not talking about that. I mean, I wouldn't give them. It's like you can surprise it, but it cannot surprise you because it's.
Sure, you can. Because people don't look up.
I know that, but if he's in a larynx and he's like, Okay.
Well, yeah, just like the. Well, something in D&D, the way I run it, and unfortunately, you guys have been subjected to it. Anyone can be surprised at any time. No matter how cautious they're being, there is always going to be one spot where the enemy comes from that you just happen to not be looking in that direction.
Or even better, if you are looking in that direction and you just don't want to believe what you're seeing.
Yeah.
That's only if the DM uses a lot of illusions.
No, you can just have something come at them that's all just slack-jawed of, you what?
Yeah, what? Yeah.
Oh, that actually hurt. Okay, I get it. We're in a fight now. Got it.
Yeah.
Next.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a good fight, but it's not impossible.
No, it's very possible to kill a Bahir, but you just have to be smart about it.
Yeah, it's a good fight if you're thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haste, fly, visibility. That's what they need.
All right, I think we've laid out enough examples for you here. Go thou, people, and make fun with the Bahir.
Beware.
You can, and yes, that too. And you can tell us about it at THACOshammer@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right, another Splat book has been closed.
Yes, indeed it has.
Just in time, too. I think. Yeah, I might even edit the last show and put it out. Don't worry, Kojo, it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
That's right. We be here.
Good night. Say good night, full on.
That was right upside the head. Oh my God.
Good night, Gamer Nation.
Say good night.
You know where to find us.
Say good night, Brian.
Oh man. Later, guys. I can't recover from that. I'm out. I'm done.
I feel the same way, and I'm DM Glenn saying we'll see you next time if Full On doesn't unload any more puns on us. When the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye. Should I have a no puns policy on the show? I wouldn't have anything to say. I wouldn't have anything to say, would I?
You'd lose half your material.
That's true.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.